All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is Harvard professor discusses research claiming aliens may live on Earth. I'm just trying to soak that in, right? Would it surprise me if that was an actual case, though? Not really, right? Specifically deep into the water, maybe, right? Or in Antarctica, or in a couple of other places that we just generally don't exist in, right?
Insane as it may sound, it looks like a Harvard paper by social science researchers raised some pretty far out there possibilities that could explain the whole UAP stuff that I have become very obsessed with. They're posing four possibilities, like maybe crypto-terrestrials or like this secret advanced civilization that's been hiding somewhere here on Earth, or even maybe the moon where we can't see them, or maybe humans from the future are visiting us, or maybe like magical beings like fairies or angels are real. Now, has this paper been...
Oh, of course. This is the one that absolutely freaks me out. Like, every time I see this piece of footage here, it makes me look at it like, things are actually weird, right? Absolutely. When he just pointed out maybe something from the future, I would say something from the past, more so, right? Who knows what was here a very, very long time ago? I mean, yeah, we're existing now. I mean, we're thinking that we're like... apex predators for real sport, right? We're at the top of our technology, let's say. But what if technology existed that was much better than ours a very long time ago, and we just don't see any remnants of it because of the Great Flood that happened 12,800 years ago? What if? What if, guys?
Peer-reviewed? No. Looks like the original link doesn't work anymore either, but those headlines traveled the world anyway.
Video.
So what the heck is going on? Well, we are lucky enough to be joined by the one and only Harvard academic and astrophysicist who we've been talking to about UAP issues for years, Harvard University professor of science and astronomy, Avi Loeb. Professor, thanks so much for being with us. And as soon as I saw the headlines on this paper, I ran to this paper, I scanned, I did not see your name attached there. So I do have to say, though, whether you had anything to do with this or not, you have been, in my eyes, one of the first academics, Ivy League academics, that has taken the idea of extraterrestrials very seriously and discussed it. I'm not sure what kind of Pandora's box you opened.
We're going to see.
When it comes to this paper, I got to ask, what do you think about your peers, what they're writing over at Harvard there?
Well, thanks for having me. Indeed, I think that it's arrogant of us to think that we are the only ones out there. There might be much more advanced civilizations, because we came late to the game, and most stars from billions of years before the sun, and a quarter of them have planets the size of the Earth, roughly at the same separation. So it would be really pretentious of us to assume that Albert Einstein was the smartest scientist who ever lived since the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago. Nevertheless, science is all about evidence. We should be humble and accept the data as a guide towards what's out there. And there is no evidence supporting the claims in this paper. And obviously, over the millennia, people came up with a lot of ideas about what might be out there. However, without the data, we cannot proceed. And there are many more possibilities than the one realized in nature. And to find out what's out there, we just need to use instruments, look out, and check the evidence.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like you're saying that if you were peer reviewing this paper, it would get a big red, where is the evidence on it?
Exactly.
Right, it would.
And,
I think the majority of scientists would definitely do this anyway. But the concept of peer reviewing is absolutely an amazing thing. It basically just challenges every single aspect of your paper while breaking things down, sometimes rudely, right? But if you wrote something down that's crazy, then expect for someone with intelligence to come in and absolutely smack it down. Like, bro, that has already been disproven. Why are you still talking about that? Right? But I would love to see an actual peer review to the study here. I like talking about it, but let's peer review it seriously.
In this paper, it would get a big red, where is the evidence on it?
Exactly. Okay. And it's very easy to come up with ideas, much more difficult to come up with materials from interstellar space. So I'm actually pursuing the latter.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the last time we checked in with you, I think you had just gotten back from an ocean expedition in the middle of the Pacific, I believe, or in the middle of the ocean, looking for like the tiniest little fragments of what you thought might be an interstellar probe or a probe from, another civilization potentially. Like, what's the latest with the material evidence there?
This object was discovered as a meteor. It exploded over the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
The fireball that released a few percent of the Hiroshima atomic bomb energy was detected by sensors aboard the US government satellites, and they pinpointed the location. Based on that region that the Department of Defense provided us with, we went there and we put a sled with magnets on the ocean floor, going back and forth 26 times, and we collected spherules. These are molten droplets from the explosion of a meteor, and 10% of those showed a chemical composition that was never reported before in the scientific literature, does not resemble what we find on Earth, Mars, the Moon, or any other solar system material that we are familiar with.
All right, so what it sounds like is a meteor that came in, most likely from another solar system, into our solar system and hit our planet. That's what it looks. That's what it sounds like. I mean, I hear you, but that doesn't really mean anything alien-oriented yet. I mean, I'm waiting for it.
And so our inclination is that it came from outside the solar system. The evidence that the meteor itself came from outside the solar system was that it was moving faster than 95% of the stars outside the solar system. It was very fast. Okay. And moreover, it disintegrated only in the lower atmosphere. So it was tougher than all meteors previously reported by NASA. Okay. And therefore, we are presently planning another expedition to find bigger fragments, bigger pieces among the wreckage of this meteor and figure out whether it was natural or artificial. Because if you just take your laptop and put it in a fireplace, you will get it burned up and the droplets will not tell you whether it was technological. However, if you find pieces from the screen, you can tell that it's technological. And so, if we find...
Okay, that's valid. I'm not sure that I would want to fund that unless you show the public the rocks or bits and pieces of whatever you found. Then I think that we could probably do that, right? But you have to show us. I hear you talking. Right, you found a brand new mineral that makes zero sense to be in our solar system. I get that. I like that idea, right? But it's not enough for me to want to refund a trip to middle of nowhere and pick up some rocks, guys. I'm not sure unless the material can be used for something absolutely amazing, and it would need for everyone to be able to kind of utilize it, not just the U.S. government.
That a piece of a technological gadget and it has buttons on it. The question is, should we press a button?
Now, you keep saying meteor, right?
Yes.
Is the evidence leading to a natural meteor right now, or is it leading towards this possible, object that may be artificial?
What we know is that the unusual droplets that we found
the pieces
have an abundance of elements like beryllium, lanthanum, uranium that is up to 1,000 times more than solar system materials.
Right. However, but we already know that it didn't come from our solar system.
Uranium that is up to 1,000 times more than solar system materials.
Okay.
However, we cannot tell whether it was natural in origin or not. I wrote a paper suggesting a natural origin. Most of the stars in the Milky Way galaxy are dwarf stars, a tenth of the mass of the sun. If you bring a planet like the Earth close to one of them, the planet will get spaghettified, ripped apart into a stream of rocks, and they would be ejected, half of them would be ejected from that system at a speed similar to the one we noticed for this meteor, and the composition will be different because the rock will be molten when the planet comes close to its host star. So this is a natural origin, but we don't know for sure. And there is a chance we would find the core of the object, and then we can tell very easily whether it's a rock or some probe. And even if it's a rock, it will tell us something about our neighbor's yard that we've never known before. And among all the rocks that are floating out there, there might be technological trash, space trash. For example, Elon Musk launched in 2018 his Tesla Roadster car.
Right, his car.
And this car, the calculations show that within 20 million years, it has a good chance of colliding with Earth and burning up in the Earth's atmosphere. Obviously, my colleagues would argue when seeing that, if they are not alerted to the fact that it's a car, they would say it's a rock of a type that we've never seen before.
Okay.
And all I'm saying is...
There's no roads anymore.
There's some like intellectual hoops that we're going through here, guys.
All I'm saying is that Elon Musk may not be the most accomplished space entrepreneur. There might be lots of interstellar cars, some of which may collide with Earth.
I love it. The possibility of an alien roadster that may have crashed into Earth. If anyone can find those needles in a haystack, that's you. Avi Loeb, thank you so very much for being with us.
All right, guys, I definitely did not, like, based off the title and based off of, the person who suggested it, I'm going to tell you something right now. I didn't know that we were going to be jumping into some type of, like, theoretical conversation. This is purely theory, guys, right? He's kind of saying that he thinks that it's a natural origin. I would go ahead and forecast that it's most likely of natural origin. He pointed out that it could have been a probe. That's interesting. I like that idea, right? Seriously. I like that idea. I would call it, let's just call it a probe if it's anything else. If it's something else other than something natural, right? I mean, who knows what's out there, right? But I'm still going to lean super heavily towards his first theory of it being natural. Bro, listen, things can fly in to our solar system at any time they want to. And he's saying that it's also going super, super fast. Could it have been a planet that went through some type of spaghettification? Could it have? And the force from that pushed it to us? And then it hit us? And now all of a sudden we have brand new things that are popping up in the bottom of the ocean? Maybe. Maybe it's like the movie Dave. If you've seen that, guys, with the miniature, like, aliens, guys. Hey. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Again, guys, I definitely love the concept of theoretical physics. It makes you feel good, right? It gets your brain moving. But either way, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.